Hey guys! So I was thinking the other day about one of my most viewed videos, in fact, my most viewed video, and that is the 100-hour brownies by Alvin Zhu. And if anybody remembers that recipe, those are probably the best brownies I ever had in my entire life. In fact, they were so good that I decided to change my own brownie recipe, and to this day I make my brownie recipe, but I use Alvin's 100-hour method to make them, and they come out so good. So I was thinking, what if I did a white chocolate version of that? Would they come out just as good? So instead of focusing on the chocolate flavor, you'll be focusing on the vanilla flavor. Now, I'm not going to be doing anything fancy. I'm not going to be using vanilla extract that I got from the jungles of Madagascar. I'm just going to be using regular ingredients from my grocery store and just trying to see if the 100-hour method will enhance the flavor of these brownies. As of right now, today is Friday, which means we won't be having these brownies until Tuesday. So enough talk, let's make these things. Okay, so I know I said brownies twice, I meant to say blondies, so that's what we're making right now. First things first, I'm going to melt some butter and some water. And what's great about the water is that it's going to stop the blondies from being greasy. Instead, we're going to get a nice fudgy texture out of this. While that's melting, I'm going to chop up some white chocolate. This is 4 ounces right here. And after I'm done chopping them up, I'm going to pour them into a measuring cup, or you could just use a bowl if you'd like. And once my butter is completely melted, and while it's still hot, I'm going to pour it all over my white chocolate. You're going to want to let this sit for a minute or two before touching it. That way you know the chocolate is all melted. After 2 minutes, I'm going to take a small whisk and I'm going to mix this up until my mixture is completely smooth and there's no chunks of chocolate. And this is looking pretty good. And while I'm here, I'm going to add my vanilla extract. And I know it seems like I didn't put in that much, but trust me, there is more vanilla coming your way. I'm mixing this up a little bit more until it turns kind of a brass color, which I think looks really nice. And now it's time to actually make our batter. In a medium-sized bowl, I'm going to take some granulated sugar and some light brown sugar, some salt, and 2 eggs. And also, if you don't remember my chocolate chip cookie recipe, I added some maple syrup. I'm doing that here too because I think it adds a really, really nice flavor. Now I'm going to add my butter and chocolate mixture. I'm just going to pour that right in there. And before we add the rest of our ingredients, I'm just going to take my whisk and mix this all up. And once this is looking smooth and giving off the consistency of caramel, it's time to add our other special ingredient, which is vanilla pudding mix. And I know this may seem strange, but if you have been following my channel, I have used this ingredient a couple of times in some of my other recipes, and the reason why is because it's a great flavor enhancer. And once you add that, it's time to add our all-purpose flour. Just going to put that all in there, and then I'm going to switch to a rubber spatula. Now I need to fold in all of this flour until there's no clumps showing and the batter is completely smooth. This batter will be very thick, so this will take a few minutes to do. And once your batter is looking smooth like this, it's time to add some more chopped white chocolate. And I'm going to add only 2 ounces right now. The other 2 ounces I'm going to add on top. And I'm going to fold that in once again. And once this is completely done, I'm going to put this into a 8x8 inch baking pan that I greased in line with parchment. If you'd rather use tin foil, that's fine too, just make sure you grease it. I'm pouring in all of my batter, and as you can see, it doesn't exactly pour like a cake batter, it's a lot thicker, so because of that, I'm going to have to push this down and smooth it out with my rubber spatula. And make sure everything is even. You don't want one side higher than the other, otherwise it's not going to bake correctly. But it looks like we're done here finally, so it's time to add the rest of our white chocolate. I'm just going to place that on top. I like that all the chocolate is not the same size because you will get some bites of white chocolate, you'll get some bites of the actual blondie itself. I feel like doing this gives it more layers of flavor. I put plastic wrap on top and placed this in the refrigerator for 72 hours, which is 3 days. After 3 whole days, I can finally bake these. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I took my blondies out of the refrigerator, and I noticed they're a little bit darker than they were when I put them in 3 days earlier. They're a little bit more on the yellow side, which I think is pretty cool. I guess it shows that the flavors are actually enhancing. I baked my blondies for 25 to 30 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. As soon as I took them out of the oven, I immediately covered them with tin foil. This is going to trap in all that moisture and give my blondies a more fudgy consistency. And now I'm going to put them in the freezer for 30 minutes. This is basically shocking them. As soon as I take them out of the freezer, they're going to go into the fridge for another 24 hours. That's right, you have to wait 1 more day for these. But what's great about this recipe is that I think it teaches patience, because patience is key, and I think the wait will be worth it because these look absolutely incredible. So it's the next day, it's finally Tuesday, a day I've really been looking forward to. I took my blondies out of the pan, peeled off the parchment, and now it's time to finally cut these. Thanks to that tinfoil freezer trick, even after sitting in the fridge for a whole day, these were very easy to cut into, and I was trying to get 16 even slices out of this. Another thing too is that you can actually smell how good these are going to be because they give off kind of a butterscotch smell, and that's because of the brown sugar and the butter. And I really love the color of these. They're pretty much golden, and I absolutely love that, because they really do look like a vanilla version of a brownie. They look just like the other brownies that I made, but again, vanilla, and that was the goal here. And just like Alvin's 100-hour brownies, I took a slice and I put it in the microwave for just a couple of seconds just to warm it up a bit. And I feel like this was the way it was meant to be eaten. Look at that consistency, it looks like something out of a dream. Although, don't use a spoon, use a fork instead. There we go, much better. Now it's time to finally try this thing. I've been waiting literally 4 days for this. So let's see, was it worth the wait? Let's find out. Oh yeah, it most definitely was. These are absolutely amazing. Now, I am a chocoholic. I do like milk chocolate and I especially love dark chocolate, but I can appreciate white chocolate as well, even though it's technically not chocolate. Don't believe me, look it up. But even if you don't like white chocolate, I think you can really appreciate these because it has a nice strong vanilla flavor, very buttery, almost a caramel-like taste. It has a lot going on, and I really do think that 100 hours is worth the wait. So make these if you have the patience. I think it's worth it. Alright guys, I hope you all enjoyed this one. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.